Hey friends, it's July 13th, 2023. Here's another 10-minute update for those that have been interested in my journey, let you know what's been going on. I haven't been online really at all for the last week because I've been out in the woods. I'm going on a little walk in this area called the Duckabush River. You might be able to hear some nature in behind us, but give you a heads up, give you a kind of an update, see if we can do this without me stumbling too much and going whatever. But three things I want to talk about: just where I've been doing right now, health stuff a little bit, and then the college thing that I'm have a interview basically or something. I don't know, we'll talk about that in a second. In Missouri, Northwest Missouri State University. So if you happen to be a Midwester, Northwest Missouri State University, I might be one of your professors next year. Who knows? We'll see. But first off, so I spent the week, Thursday right now. We drove out here last Friday, I think it was. So almost a week. And it was pretty good. Lots of people. The first weekend, tons of people. Then a lot of people leave on the first weekend, and it's just like smaller contingent of people. Great being out in nature. Interesting. This is the first time I've done this. This is like a family event that happens every year for the last, like, it's been about 10, 12 years, something like that. I haven't made one of them because a lot of reasons. It's more my ex-wife's family, but my kids wanted me to come this year, so all that stuff. I will say, without throwing anybody under the bus, now that I said that, it's like, what is he about? What is he really thinking? But, you know, with so many people, so many personalities, sometimes it can be difficult to navigate with that type of thing. But it was great to be out in nature. I'll just leave it at that. It was fun. Health-wise, what's been going on? So I slept in a tent. So each day, I hear a car coming. Each day I... ever since my start of this journey, moving from San Diego to Seattle, or like on my traveling portion of this journey, I've slept in my car numerous times, and each time I tweak it a little bit. And so I got to this point where the front seat was not very comfortable. The back seat, just all by itself, more comfortable, but cramped, you know, like my legs were bent. But then if I have to sleep in my car in the future, if I know that's coming up, I'm going to design an apparatus that basically becomes a flat surface that folds out from my back seat, and I'll push my two front seats forward as far as possible, and it folds out and it creates as much flat surface there as possible. Because what I ended up doing was I put my big backpack and one of my pillows behind one of the seats so I could kind of sleep on an angle and stretch my legs out, and that kind of worked out. But if I just kind of made that whole area a flat surface, and I think I can design something that's like foldable and like modular and get small enough. But if I ever need to do that again, I just fold it out. It'll have storage underneath of it, so stuff can go underneath. And then while I'm sleeping, it's just kind of like more of a flat surface, because also the seat buckets in the center, it just was like a little rough, not feeling cramped. And by the morning, my hips were hurt, like things were just hurting. So I don't know if I'll ever need to do that, but that's a thought for sure. So health-wise, so I've been dealing with, like I mentioned in another update, like these muscle spasms and weird stuff in my body. Like my tip of my tongue will spasm, my lip will spasm, my quads, my hamstring, or whatever the back of your leg is, these muscle spasms. But in particular, my right arm has been really spasmy and kind of jittery and weird. So I talked to my father, my former, ex-father-in-law, and his wife are both doctors, and they both said it doesn't sound like anything to worry about. Just, the body doing weird stuff. I told them I deal with anxiety as well. They know that. They've been like, so we had a conversation about that. So even though they kind of eased my mind in some degree, saying don't worry about it, it's still kind of like, fuck, when's it gonna like pass through? Because typically my body does all these weird stuff. Like I'll have these weird pains that'll last for like a month and then just kind of disappear. And it's happened like in my neck. I had this kind of weird thing going on in my head and neck for a while I was doing rideshare. Then I had this weird cramp in my kind of chest, heart, heartburn, stomach, whatever, in this area right there. That just kind of went away. And then I had this weird things going on with my feet that just kind of went away. And now the latest one is this whole thing. So hopefully it's just another one of those things that will just kind of, in a month from now, I won't even remember that I was having this issue and just kind of go away. All right, that's the hope there. So the last thing I want to talk about is my potential, or my interview. So this Sunday, I'm flying to Missouri, first plane ride I've been on since before the pandemic. So I don't know. I know eventually you're going to need enhanced IDs. I hope we don't need that, because I don't have an enhanced ID. I just have my regular driver's license. I think I'm still safe there. I don't have internet right now, so I'm going to look that up when I get internet again, just to, maybe I'll bring my birth certificate too. I don't know, just to make sure I can get on the flight without a problem. But let's just say we get on the flight without a problem. I'll be in Missouri starting Sunday night and into Monday, where I'll do a kind of one day kind of visit the campus, meet with a few of the important people on the campus, and then give an little artist talk about my work and my teaching, kind of stuff. Just kind of let them get a sense of who I am, and hopefully they'll have enough people there that are interested in asking me questions and talking to me about stuff. But the thing that I'm trying hard to maintain is, like, I have a tendency to get anxious, get nervous, and I know just this morning I had a little ping of, I was like, oh geez, but I've able to like work through it. But so what I'm really trying to live in is I'm trying to let go of all like hope for the job, in a sense, like I'm trying to let go of all the kind of like, oh, I really hope I get this, and if I don't get the job, then if I don't get the job, like, I'm trying to live in the experience, like going to Missouri for the first time, visiting the campus, meeting some people, getting an opportunity to share my work with a few more people. Like, I'm trying to really hone in on what is tangible, what is like a new experiences, regardless if I get the job or not. So, and just try to put my best foot forward without trying to be something I'm not. That's one thing I'm really want to be clear with everybody that's involved in this whole situation. It's a graphic design position. I know tons about graphic design. I can teach it, no problem. I have full confidence in that, but I am not a typical straight up graphic designer. And I want to make that abundantly clear with everybody involved. I'm an artist that knows about graphic design. Art is first. Graphic design is part of that process. I won't even say it's second, but it's like I went to graduate school, studied graphic design, learned a lot about it, taught some classes last year, been doing more research, filling in what I don't know with more reading and research currently. So I feel 100% confident I can teach whatever they need me to teach, but I want to make sure they know that they're not hiring somebody that's worked at a firm and has lots of client work, and it's just not who I am, and that's not what I do. And so far it seems like a good fit. I was up for it about that beginning. They saw my portfolio, they saw all the stuff I presented them. It's clear that I don't have like a portfolio full of like typical, maybe what you typically think of graphic design. I'm more integrated, I'm more interdisciplinary and that kind of thing. So I want to make sure that when I present myself, I'm honest about who I am, not trying to be anything different. Just, be who I am, which I know I always present myself. I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't give a fuck about whatever. I'm going to be like, I always put my best foot forward. And if that's who they want as part of their institution, then great. If they don't, then fine. I'll just keep hustling my YouTube, hustling my art, trying to get exhibitions, move to Michigan, and figure it out what comes next. But if I do get this spot, it'll be great because I'll have a steady income and insurance for a while, be able to, buy my kids some gifts and things like that, because I haven't been able to do that for a long time. That's the one thing that's like on the top of my list of things I want to do, is kind of, if I do get the job, they're the first that are going to be celebrating it with me in a way by me giving them some stuff that they've been wanting. But anyways, we're about 10 minutes. Thanks for listening. This has been my latest 10-minute update. I'm in the woods right now, so this will publish tonight sometime. But as always, be loving, kind, and patient. Peace, my friends. Support independent art by following me. Boom.